Good evening. In this video, I am going to help you get a head start on blogging. Blogging is something that more and more educators are using in their classrooms and something that's being encouraged for professional development for a lot of educators. Today, we are going to go through some points here on the free WordPress account site. I have been blogging for the last approximately a year through WordPress. And a lot of the features that you're going to see in this video are going to be the same as they would be in a paid account. What you'll notice is that WordPress is going to try and get you to upgrade a bunch of times, but you probably don't need to upgrade if you're just using this for a school project. I don't have screenshots right now of actually getting the account set up. It's pretty easy. You can go to the wordpress.com site. Just make sure that you're looking for the free options. They try and default you to a paid plan, but if you look, you can do the free options, and those are good enough for course purposes. When you're choosing a domain name to get you started on a blog for a website, some of the best advice that I got from my blogging mentor is to try and think of something that's easily memorable for your audience. You're going to want something short and something concise. Mine's Nurse Killam because that's what everything is on my social media profile. And another example would be Cogdog. So Cogdog is the guy that I've learned a lot of this stuff from. And his is very memorable as well. So just put some thought when you're choosing a domain name. Then once you get into the back end of your WordPress account, it's going to look something like this. You can start wherever you want, really, but I would recommend taking a look at what the themes are. So if you go beside customize here, you can click on themes, and then you can filter by the free options and just pick something that looks right for your purposes. The type of design that you choose for your website can be changed whenever you want, and it's really personal preference and how you want it to be laid out. Okay. So after you've done that, you can take a look at what you really want your website to be used for. And the two main types of pages that you're going to have, or types of ways that you can post your information, is through either pages or blog posts. And you'll see both of those options right here. Basically, what a page is it's something static, something that you usually see on the main menus on a website, whereas blog posts are usually in reverse chronological order. Those are the things that, every time you publish something, it'll come up on the homepage. So if I just go to view my site here for a second, this is a theme that I chose at the beginning, and then you'll see this here is a blog post, and every time I put a new blog post, it will show up like this. Whereas if I had a page, it would be something more static, like these pages up here. This is an about page, and this is an APA training page. These pages are outdated. If you're looking for more recent information, you're going to want to go to my actual website. All of these websites are WordPress websites, but they are through a paid version. So some of the features that I use, like plugins and stuff, you won't be able to get if you're using a free version. If you want to do a paid version, I would recommend pricing out your options. I'm currently hosting with Reclaim Hosting, and I'm very happy with their service. That was recommended to me by eCampusOntario, who I have to credit for a lot of my own personal development around blogging. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look here to see if there's any comments. I'm not currently seeing anyone. This is my first time going live right inside of YouTube, so I'm just going to take a second to go to my actual channel page to see if I'm missing out on something here. If you're watching me, maybe just say hi so that I can see. Okay, now I've got the chat showing. I've got my screen showing here, so that's going to be helpful for me. Okay, so one of the best tips that I can give you when you're blogging is to try and have some fun with it. If you think about it, when you go to a web page, you don't want to be looking at something that's all text. So once you have gotten sort of some of the basics of your web page set up, think about adding some media to it. There's a few different ways in a free website here that you can add media. If you just go to this plus button inside the blog option and you go to media, you can upload pictures from your computer. It's a simple drag and drop. So I'm just going to show you an example here real quick. I'm going to upload the thumbnail for tonight's YouTube video. And it just takes a second. I can click on that and I can insert it into my post. The other option that I have here that I think is really handy is the free photo library. So again, you click on add and then free photo library, and then you can search for something like WordPress, pick a picture that you like and insert it in your post. Now, I like that this free photo library automatically puts the credit underneath. I think that that's awesome. It's also from one of my favorite sites to get free images from, which is Pixabay. If you're using that for any project, I highly recommend looking that up. Another thing that I like to do when I'm blogging, if I'm including a quotation to sort of try and break up the text a little bit, you can use the block quotes here, and then it just makes the text stand out a little bit. Something that's really neat as well is if you go to a YouTube page and you just copy the link address and then you go back into the post, you can paste that in there and it automatically converts that video into something that'll show on your page and someone can actually play that right from your page. Very similar, another tip that I use often to jazz up my blog posts is I just go to, this is funny, YouTube thought I was going live about 2 hours ago. I'll just go to a Twitter post that's related to what I'm talking about, copy the link, and then again, just paste it in here. Oh, it did not copy well. Okay, hold on a second. Let me try that again. Copy link to tweet. Okay. That's my YouTube video. That's okay. All right, so that's an example of how you can add a little bit information to a posting. Something else that I wanted to show you was you can embed stuff from pages. Like let's use this Facebook page as an example. So let's say I'm blogging about flu shots. ZDoggMD has a video. I'm like, oh, this would be nice to include. I can go to embed, and then I can copy this embed code. I'm going to use Control-C. That's the shortcut for the embed code. Or sorry, that's the shortcut for copying. Now, you'll notice when I paste it in here, it's not automatically converting. That's okay. If you're having some difficulty with that, I recommend going up to the text version, or sorry, the HTML version. It says text on the paid one. Pasting in that code and then going back to the visual. Usually that works. Yep, that's worked right there. So there's another way to add something directly embedded in your post from another page. And then when you're done writing your post, when it looks good to you and we've got the text that you want, it's kind of nice to have a featured image on your post as well. Now, when you set your featured image, that's going to be the thing that shows up on a lot of sites where you post your link as sort of the thumbnail for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this one that I have created, the thumbnail for this particular video. But sometimes, depending on where your link is going, that's not going to be the one that shows up. It'll be the first one in your post. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes it's the featured image. Sometimes it's the first image in the post. Also, before publishing, I like to take a look at some of these settings. So categories and tags is something that's really good if you're, blogging for a while and you want to keep things in some sort of order. If you tag everything that's about a certain course with either a tag or a category named that course, it'll make it really easy afterwards to find those. It doesn't really matter if you use tags or categories, just that you try and organize those in some way. And then you can choose if you want to link some sharing stuff, that's fine. And when you're all done playing with the settings, you can click, well, usually it'll say publish here. Right now it says update because I had already previously published this. And then you're done. Now just let me go to view the site. You'll see that looks pretty nice. And that's really as easy as it is. So I'm going to check the chat to see if there are any questions. I am not seeing any questions. I'll just wait a minute before I head out, and maybe I'll just chat about some of the value in blogging. So as you're thinking about whether or not you want to do this long term or if it's just for a course, I found that blogging is really good for reflective practice. I actually enjoy sort of working through some of my thoughts as I'm blogging. And it's something that I've only been doing for a year. And I found that it's really nice to be able to go back to what those thoughts were and see sort of the growth in my own professional development. Are there any questions? I can see you guys. I can see there's a few people watching. Here. I'm gonna send you a little emoji in the chat so that you know that I'm in the chat too. I feel like that was really quick. You know what? I did forget something, and I forgot to talk about the comments. So if somebody could go to this link, which is nursekillam.wordpress.com, and just comment on a blog post, I can show you what happens when somebody comments. I'll try and talk through what happens, but it'd be really helpful if somebody actually commented. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to get a notification, and I see that these notifications are coming to me from various websites, not just the one that I have here. But I can go here, and usually there'll be a thing to approve the comment there. Or I can go under comments, and it'll show me what my comments are. Why don't I take a look at, I'll take a look at one of my other websites that might be helpful. Okay, so this is my actual blog. And the comments aren't coming through. Maybe that's because I usually log in through Reclaim Hosting for this. Oh, it just took a minute. Okay, so as you can see, someone is trying to, this is a link, so I can approve that if I approve that, and then, yeah, these are all approved comments here. So basically that's what it's going to look like, is you're going to see the comment, and then you can decide if you want to approve it or if you want to trash it, whatever. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions or comments coming through right now, which is fine. If you think of anything after this session is over, leave it in the comments below the video. I am going to leave this recording up, and I will follow up with you. Thank you very much, and have a great night.